Send it.
Nice. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to the show. Is it April 23rd?
22nd.
It's the 22nd. Okay, that's what I thought. It's Earth Day.
Today's
Today
Earth Day?
is Earth Day. It is. And we're recording on a Monday. We switched it up a little bit for this week. It is 10:08. I think Earth Day is April 22nd. I think
Yep,
it is.
today.
Okay.
Today.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Shout out to Planet Earth. This is What's Good Denver, which is a weekly celebration of culture and discovery and fun stuff to do in Denver for kids, couples, singles, and old timers. I'm Ryan Estes here today with Tom Deep House Donahue. Tom, how was the show on Friday, buddy?
It was good. I definitely played some deep house, played some really good stuff, disrespected them with a little bit of bass here and there.
Did you get the look?
Oh, no. They were all about it this week, so
Nice.
it was fire. It was a good set. It was snowing, like snow coming down, wet, slushy, but still packed it out.
Yeah.
We were at capacity for hours and hours, just raging over there, so it was a good one.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, this time of year in Denver, we get these big, thick, wet snows, but like nobody's believing that. Nobody believes in that snow.
No.
It's just like, dude, this is not.
They
This
didn't-
is spring.
They didn't care. They knew the place had coat check, so people wore their coats. But at 2 a.m. when they're funneling everyone out of there, it was just dumping snow. Everyone's standing outside cold because they got to wait for Ubers.
Oh,
It's another reason why we need that 4 a.m. curfew.
yeah, no kidding. Exactly. Yeah, the Uber overages. Nobody wants to pay for that.
No,
That's
no.
ridiculous.
It would alleviate so much congestion because most people will stay out till 2. Not most people will stay out till 4. So
Yeah.
between that time of 2 to 4, you got people gradually coming out of the club. It's not going to be a huge Uber shortage around that time. You don't have,
So true.
girls standing with no jackets on in the snow
I know.
in Rhino
I know.
because every single place let out at the same exact time.
It's not fair. And I mean, for gals, they want to look cute. They don't want to wear their puffy on top of their cute outfit.
Exactly.
So they
Guys too. Guys have T-shirts on. They don't want to be that dude who's not tough enough to face the cold. So
What was the outside temp at like 2 when everyone was waiting?
it was probably like 30.
It was pretty cold.
Yeah, well, it's snowing. Like snow was like sticking a little bit, but
And
it had
just
to
a
be like
t-shirt.
30.
I don't know. I don't know if I would be doing well in that.
My buddy Phil, apparently Elon and Tesla gave all the Teslas a month of free full autonomous driving, like a free trial.
Wow.
So he was driving us back from the show, and snow on the ground, like a couple inches of snow at that point of the night, and he had the Tesla drive us all the way back to my buddy Dan's apartment, probably like a 15-minute drive in the snow through, Rhino, Curtis Park, through Denver, South Broadway, down onto Spear to Country Club. And man, it was whipping us.
Really?
Yeah.
It-
The funny thing about it is it really wants to get from like 0 to the speed limit like as fast as possible. So when you're stopped, it just fucking gets you going, and it feels weird because you're like, there's inches of snow on the ground and it's still doing this.
Wow.
There was a stop sign completely covered with snow, and it stopped, and it knew still that it was only a 2-way stop, not a 4-way stop. So the car's like inching forward to see if cars are coming the other way.
Wow.
It was crazy.
I didn't realize the self-driving future was like a paid subscription based type thing.
Me
Yeah,
neither.
I think it's a one-time payment of $10,000 to get it,
Oh, really? Okay.
or they have like a subscription, which I'm not sure what the subscription price is, but no, it's not. It's like a software update. It's not a free included thing anymore. I think back when they were starting, it used to be a free thing, but now it is not.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm
That's
not sure I like that. That's weird. Soft- You're
like
like,
I gotta buy the car and then now I have to buy the software too. Like I guess it's just an upsell, but it's definitely interesting.
Yeah, because I mean, you can drive the car fully without it, but I mean, man, it was really cool. He didn't have to do anything the whole way back from Beacon all the way to my buddy's apartment.
I also didn't realize they were that they can push it forward already. Like a full autonomous is already here.
Yeah, it was not. He wasn't touching the wheel, the gas, the brakes.
Wow.
Just hands off. Well, actually, it does make you touch the steering wheel every once in a while to make sure you're like awake,
Just a heads up.
and alert. But no, it fully took us.
Dude, so Tesla subscriptions have to be here. This is kind of the you will own nothing and you will be happy kind of path.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're just like, cool, the Uber will just come to me whenever I want it. I mean, it's kind of fresh.
Yeah.
It is fresh.
How does it know?
Go ahead, Troy.
I was gonna say, how does it know? Like, so when you pull up to the stop sign, how does it know whether it's a four-way stop or a two-way stop? Is it like a sensor thing, or is it like it's already been pre-programmed with information on the streets? Like, I wonder how that works.
I think it's like a combination of both. Like it can tell you like there's a stop sign on each part of the intersection. It can see like the lights. It can see all the signs, all the cars around you, and you can watch on the screen what the car is seeing at the same time as it's like driving you.
It's all ghosty. That's really cool.
Yeah,
Teslas
is
are
crazy.
sick.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, but they have they're called Waymos. They have them in Phoenix is one of the places that they use them. I'm not sure where else, but it's fully autonomous like Uber. So you will call like a Waymo and a car will come get you and there's no driver in it. And you get in.
Really?
Yeah, and it would drive you to wherever you're going and then you get out.
They're in Texas already?
They're in Phoenix.
Oh, Phoenix, you said.
Yeah, it's called a Waymo. Waymo. I've seen them around like Scottsdale, Phoenix, Arizona. I think they're really like pushing the boundaries of like the testing there and actually doing it because it's always good weather. There's never any sort of like rain or snow, and they were able to like fully map out the roads in that area. But you'll see they have these huge cameras on top. It looks like the Google Earth car, if you've ever seen that, or the Street
like the
View car.
spherical 360 camera.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we're just driving on the highway and like look to the right and you see one of them and it's driving next to you on the highway and there's nobody in the car at all.
Crazy.
I wonder if there's like there has to be, I would imagine, like a kind of gap in like the policy and the laws around that right now. I would imagine there's got to be holes.
Seriously, there's got to be something because who knows? Who even ever thought that was going to be a thing they'd have to prepare for?
Yeah.
A car just operating on public roads with no one in it just seems like there needs to be like very tailored laws specifically for that to be happening. Or like if you're drinking and if you're say like you're drinking and you go drive a fully autonomous car, is there like laws behind? I would assume you just can't have alcohol like regardless. You're still operating like equipment. Like do laws already exist for that?
I don't know. Yeah, if you're in the front seat or the back seat, if you're in the front seat, you might be influencing it. But if you're in hey, I'm in the back seat just drinking here in my Waymo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Is that okay?
I don't know.
I have questions. A lot of questions.
You're not even driving it at all, so why not?
Well, and the big question too is the programming, like doomsday scenarios where you're like, okay, if I'm driving and a class of kindergartners fly out into the road, so the choices are plow through the kindergartners or careen the car off a cliff. So what's the moral thing? Now, if we're driving, we're probably going off the cliff, right? It's like there's no way I'm hitting the kindergartners. But I don't necessarily want a Waymo car making the decision to kill me over anything else.
Yeah.
That's
That's one of the biggest issues that they've been aiming to solve with the self-driving is those like moral situations.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure it's to the point where it knows like, okay, do you hit 3 kindergartners or like 3 dogs? It goes for the dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or it's like, do you hit like one old lady crossing the street or do you veer into oncoming traffic and collide with 3 different cars?
Yeah.
It's like
so there's going to be a social credit score where it knows who's driving where. So if it's like an elderly gentleman, but he happens to be a multi-billionaire, they're like, well, we can't take that guy out. Like, he's too important.
That is like the
You can subscribe to you get an upgrade on the Waymo subscription to make sure that it doesn't kill you first. That's the bonus plan. That's the platinum package.
prioritize
Yeah.
passenger safety overall.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is getting too weird.
That is
The
really
world's getting bananas.
strange. It's choosing who lives and who dies.
No kidding.
And real quick, the Tesla subscription, if you don't want to do the $10,000 one-time payment, the subscription price is $99 per month for full self-driving.
Dude, that is amazing. So when is Uber going to be $100 a month and like car payments are gone, insurance gone, gas is gone, cars are over?
Yeah, no one drives anymore.
That's just that's gotta be soon, right?
That's gonna happen within our
I
lifetime.
drove a lot, like growing up in my teenage years. I would commute to high school like 45 minutes back and forth every day. And like I spent a lot of time driving, like traffic's really major in San Diego. And I feel like I built up a really good understanding and just like appreciation that like driving is, you have to be so careful. Like you can't, just a second of lost focus could just be such traumatic results. Where like I
Mhm.
built like a trust with myself, like feeling very responsible when I drive. I feel like for me to trust a car that doesn't have a person operating it, that would be a big barrier for me to hop over.
It would
Like
be really scary.
Yeah.
especially like the traffic here's so crazy. There's so many crazy drivers. It would just be, yeah, like I need to see like some years of consistent, like, okay, these things are like foolproof before I'm like really.
Gonna hop in.
Totally agree. I mean, I've done the autopilot on Teslas before, not the full autonomous, but like, when you open up to a stretch and you let it go, and it is like disconcerting. It's like, nah, man. I'm the same way. I'm like, I'm gonna hold this. This is
Yeah.
it. Well, and plus, because Teslas are so fast,
They're really
so
fast.
that it's like that giddy up is like unnerving. I was new in a Tesla. Maybe you get used to it, but it's like, boy, this thing is like so
Also
much
kind of,
power.
they're kind of cheap too. I feel like a little bit. Like
Like rinky dink.
it feels like you're in a just Toyota, like a Toyota base model kind of, or
Yeah.
some of them at least.
Yeah, their base models do feel like that, but their nicer ones feel really nice.
They're sick.
We
Model
get a
X's
lot of
and
cyber trucks around here to see those all the time.
I've
Like,
been seeing them now too. I just saw the first one in Denver the other day. We
Cool.
saw him in Austin.
In Austin. Yeah, he had that like chrome wrap on it too. It looks sick.
I think the one oh yeah, no, he had like a more shiny version of it.
Yeah.
But even the base model one is pretty shiny.
Yeah, they're cool. They're getting a lot of heat, and they always have from the very beginning. But I guess they're rusting. And did you hear about the pedal? The like accelerator pedal was like getting stuck.
Yeah, I heard about that too.
Yeah.
They have a recall right now, and basically they're like doing a quick like drill into the pedal to make sure it doesn't get stuck to like the floor or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
seems like it would be a problem, definitely.
the pedal
Acceler-
gets stuck at full bore.
Yeah.
They say that the hood, like the automatic hood closer, could like chop your fingers off.
Oh,
But,
What?
But I don't know. Like it's just people like putting carrots in it and being like, "See," but I don't think it actually cuts a finger off.
nice.
Oh.
Cool. Let's dive into this episode, gentlemen. We're also joined with the NBA playoffs of podcasting, Troy Higgins, and that's our feature. We're talking about NBA. We're going to be talking about the Nuggets. So, Troy, let's just begin here. What did you watch the game?
I did.
What'd
I
you
did watch.
What'd you think, man?
I was actually very impressed at how the Lakers came out and they were competing in the first half. I think they had a lead at one point, like
They're up by
almost
12.
yeah, they had like a 12-point lead, and then the Nuggets just came back, and I don't know what they did. They must have talked it over in the locker room, switched up some strategy, but they took it to the Lakers pretty good in the second half. I think what was the final score? Nuggets won by what 11, but it felt like more than 11 just watching the game. And LeBron played 41 minutes, which is like more than anyone played on the Nuggets,
Yeah.
which is just crazy. I think this is kind of like his final. I think in his mind, like he knows like this is like if I beat the reigning MVP and reigning champions in this round one playoff series as an 8 seed, like this is gonna be big. So I think he's gonna give it his all. but I still think I feel like it's just gonna be Nuggets in 5. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
Nuggets in 5.
Well, timeline for people that are listening later this week. We're talking before the second game of the series. Nuggets just took the first game of the opening series. And, LeBron, he scored 2 points in the fourth quarter. It's
I
like,
didn't know that.
where was LeBron? Especially the last 9 minutes where, like, they had a chance. LeBron gets the ball. They're down by 7, and he has an opportunity, but he dishes to, what's his name, who missed a whole bunch of shots. He just wasn't having a great game. He's the dude with the high dreadlocks.
Oh, KCP, or wait, no, he's on the Nuggets. Sorry. Oh, D'Angelo Russell. Yeah,
Yeah,
he had
D'Angelo Russell. So LeBron has the shot and dishes, make that shot. It's a 4-point game, and this is like with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So LeBron dishes, which is like, why is that? And then he breaks it, and then we get the ball, go back and score. So I don't know. It was kind of perplexing. I was like, in the fourth quarter, I was like, dude, why doesn't LeBron just take over? Because he has that capacity. Like if he just wants to assert himself, he definitely can. I don't know, but it was a great game.
Yeah, Jokic just quietly had almost a triple double, 32 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists, just always just killing it. Even when it doesn't seem like it, he's just killing it.
Yeah, I mean the Nuggets didn't look that great. They still won by 11. I mean, I'm starting to entertain. We've had GOAT conversations here before. I'm starting, and I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch. But look, let's do a couple of what ifs here. What if Jokic wins third MVP and then they two-peat as the Nuggets? This is big what ifs. Where does Jokic end up in the all-time GOAT category? Top 5? Like he's starting to get up into a situation where it's like, dude, statistically could be untouchable. Certain statistics, of course, LeBron's going to have forever. But I think that what we've seen this year, Jokic should definitely get the MVP, is that he's making a claim for the top 5 seats.
I don't think it's that big of a what if. Like that's all very doable for them, like very within grasp. So if that happens, some conversations are going to start. Some whispers are going to be happening for sure because you can't deny it at that point if he's putting up accolades like that.
You just got to. I mean, it's controversial who the number 1 guy is, but let's say the top 3 guys: Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. And then you start getting into like Kareem, and then Larry Bird. I don't know. Like the legacy of Larry Bird is so great. It seems crazy to start talking about Jokic in there. You know what I mean? Especially because he's such a goofball,
Yeah.
and doesn't appear to take the game that seriously.
I think a lot of it will depend on his longevity too. I think how old is he? He's like late 20s, right?
Yeah, it's his ninth season.
So I think if he can consistently, he's 29. So I think if he can consistently, if the Nuggets are top contenders for the next 5 seasons and he's consistently in that MVP conversation, then I think he's going to be like cemented in that at least top 10 conversation. I would agree with that.
Yeah. Top 10, he's got to be for sure top 10 if he gets another MVP. If they win a back-to-back championship, it's like, boy, I mean, that's when I'm starting to think he's inching up to top 5 all time, which is wild, and it's been kind of cool the last 2 seasons really to see people kind of turn around on Jokic because he's sneaky hilarious. You know what I mean? Like his personality and the way but I think it took people a long time to start to get him. Where they're like, dude, this guy is just like, he is the Joker, Like
I saw him on a commercial last night. It was like hotels.com or something. They had like a horse, and it was him and another player who I don't know exactly who the other player was, but it was funny. He's just like got the horse there in the hotel lobby. He's just petting him, hanging around.
Yeah.
He's definitely a funny dude.
Yeah, people are starting to get used to him. I think there was some aversion too because he's not the most athletic guy. I mean, he moves really, really well and very fluid. But the NBA, the level of athleticism in the NBA now is like unreal. It's just it's different. this is kind of where the GOAT conversation gets interesting because it was a much more physical game back in the day with Jordan, but like the level of athleticism now is just unreal. You look at the Nuggets and you got, Michael Porter, who's 6'10", and he's a shooter. It's like, dude, what? How are you going to try and defend that shot?
Mm-hmm.
The overall skill level of just like your average NBA player's gone up like crazy. I mean, even in the last like 10, 15 years, like these guys they're all so good now. So I think
so good.
It's like, yeah, there's like, it's less physical and the rules are a little more supportive of offense,
Right.
but I still think I think it's more impressive to be better now than it was back then.
Agreed. And I mean, it is like defense. You look at the way people travel, at least every other play. I just stopped saying it because, like, my daughter's like, Dad, stop. Because I'm like, dude, that is traveling.
I definitely saw some
Putting up
travels.
court, just like holding it.
Yeah. They take it's like, wow, that was like 5 steps. Like, what is. But what do they call it? The jump step? Like, they put that in there. Yeah. So you can get some more explosive type plays, which is cool. But I wonder if they should add an extra foul, because then maybe people D up a little bit harder. AG got 2 fouls in the first 2 minutes of that game, and that sucks if he's off the court because the 2-man that Jamal and Jokic play is probably best in the league, and everyone's just waiting for Jokic to get penetration, so he just lobs the monster dunk to Eric Gordon every time.
Nuggets offense is beautiful to watch. I really think the only way the Lakers will win a game against the Nuggets is if they have they have to have like a perfect game. Like LeBron has to just go full LeBron mode, play 40 plus minutes.
Yeah.
He needs all his support guys to just be shooting great, on point, getting rebounds, and then he also needs the Nuggets to have an off game. So if like those two things simultaneously happen, they can win. If that doesn't happen, like I don't even see them. It's going to be very hard for them to win a single game in this series, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think they've lost 9 in a row to the Nuggets.
Oh no.
So I just don't see like LeBron not getting one at home, like that's maybe he's like saving all his Duracells for the home game so he can go all out. But man, hats off to that guy. He is still just an absolute dominant force, and he's 40 years old. I mean, I played pickup game basketball with my 13-year-old kid or 15-year-old kid. Geez, I thought I was gonna die. He's in the NBA.
He's the oldest active player in the NBA.
That's wild, dude. And
he played the most minutes in that game out of anyone.
And he plays at an elite level.
Yeah.
He's still like possibly the best guy on the floor. Not when he's playing the Nuggets, but other teams.
On his team, at least.
Yeah, totally. Nice, cool, man. We're gonna have a bit of a Nuggets conversation because there was a question. There was a question about why the heck we can't watch frickin' the Nuggets in Denver.
Mm-hmm. I think it needs to be explained because I think a lot of people don't understand the struggle and why it's happening.
Yeah, and this is hard. I actually kind of went down a rabbit hole here to get some research to find a definitive answer. And the problem is, the answer that I had was that Stan Kroenke is just a greedy bastard. And I was like, that can't be the reason. That can't be. There's got to be like a legitimate like thing here. And I don't know. I couldn't find it. Now, the way I want to come into this conversation is people can go and Michael Porter Jr. has a podcast called Curious Mike, and it's a fan-freaking-tastic podcast. Michael Porter Jr. had a very tough week. I don't know if you heard about this, Troy.
Was it the brother gambling thing?
Yeah, his younger or older brother. Well, he's got a bunch of brothers and sisters, but his brother was playing for the Raptors. He also played for the Nuggets for a time, but he was kind of a G League guy, kind of coming up, and he got a lifetime ban for gambling on basketball.
Oh, that was his brother?
Yeah. So essentially, like he put some $20,000 parlay that, like, if he didn't play, then it would pay out like $1.2 million. So the thing is that like DraftKings and all these apps, which I'm not necessarily a fan of. I don't know. Can you do all the app betting in California, Troy?
You can, yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild. It's getting out of hand for sure with just the like accessibility to gambling in everyone's
Mm.
pocket.
Yeah.
Insane.
And I mean, I'm all for freedoms and it's kind of a soft vice and whatever, but also like it is highly addictive for some people, you know. I mean, it just is. And, you know, so he had some weird parlay, but see the thing is that you can't tune into an NBA basketball game without hearing all this crap about DraftKings and like what's the, you know, what are all the sports lines and stuff like that, which is
They
weird.
never used to have that. They have the
Never.
sports lines like all like the broadcast announcers are talking about it. Like
I
that was never a thing before. It's pretty
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
No, I mean, prior, you know, 20 years ago, it was like gambling was a sin, you know, and like, you know, not to be religious about it, but like people were like, you would definitely not be a serious journalist and you're talking about betting lines, you know, but now it's just like common conversation, which is weird in itself. So anyway, obviously, like DraftKings are paying tons of money to the NBA for advertising, and so they have a relationship deeply with the NBA. And so yeah, some weird parlay comes in for some like eighth man, you know, player, and DraftKings or I don't even call them out. I'm not sure if it was them specifically, but was like, hey, what we got Jonte. This weird bet coming in for Jonte, so they didn't pay it out because yeah, then he dogs it and doesn't go into the game, expecting like this payday. So anyway, he got a lifetime ban, and I think you do have to do that because you can't have players throwing
Yeah.
games.
It was like a $80,000 bet, I'm pretty sure.
Okay,
Pay out
80,000.
like 1.2 million or something.
Yeah,
And it was all the guys like unders.
yeah,
It's like under one assist, under one, like crazy stuff that nobody would ever bet $80,000 on.
yeah. You know, and the poor guy, he's you know, not to defend him, but it's like, dude, you don't think they're gonna notice some random bet for $80,000? I mean, what's the average bet on DraftKings? $3?
Yeah,
Probably.
probably
You know?
maybe less.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. Just someone who probably I'm assuming he's younger and just
Yeah.
made a bad decision and probably didn't have the proper support or education to avoid making that mistake, I would imagine.
Totally. Plus,
You don't have right people in your on your side of the court if you're doing stuff like that, you know.
Mm-mm.
yeah. Well, and plus, you know, the NBA, there was that mobbed up ref or umpire or referee, yeah, that was like doing some gambling and stuff, you know. So, I mean, the NBA, obviously, they have to take a drastic measure, but also, like, it seems a little bit disingenuous that, like, you're taking millions and millions of dollars from DraftKings and you're a little bummed out when people are using the tools that you can't stop talking about. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mm.
I feel.
One,
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
what I don't understand a little slightly off topic. So we had in California it was called Proposition 27, which was basically um, gambling companies could offer online sports betting, and it didn't pass. So I was like, oh, we're not going to have that, but we can still do the DraftKings and the
The
prize
apps.
the prize picks because there's like this loophole where it's considered like a competitive, it's like a contest. So it's like there's like a they
Oh,
found a way of like rebranding it and rephrasing it to where it's basically like it's just pure gambling. Like it's the same exact thing, just formatted slightly differently. It's crazy though. It's like I when that happened, I was like, oh, like because I kind of enjoy doing it sometimes. Like, oh man, like all right, we won't be able to do that here. And then I was like, wait, you still can do it? I thought Prop 27 didn't pass. So it's like there's like a whole loophole thing going on in the system right now. And it's so accessible. Like you have kids in grade school with it on their phones, you know,
Yeah.
doing it. Like
yeah.
it's absurd.
Yeah. Well, gambling's not gambling if the envelope is thick enough. You know what I mean? You go to the state senate, you're like, it's not gambling. They're like, yeah, it is. They're like, no, here. Like, oh, yeah, that's not gambling.
Gambling.
We're good. So Jonte gets suspended. 48 hours later, his youngest brother was getting sentenced for vehicular homicide.
Oh,
So
I didn't hear about that.
yeah, Michael Porter Jr.'s little brother played for DU, and he got hammered and was driving down University from DU northbound. You know the right where
Dang.
Bucktail University and I-25 that intersection.
Yeah, of course.
He plows into an Uber driver, kills the lady, single mom, you know, 41, and like seriously injures like the person in the back seat. This was like a year ago or something like that. So Michael Porter Jr. went to the trial. You know, this is for sentencing. He was already convicted, and his little brother like actually had a really earnest message for the family. He was encouraged not to like testify at the sentencing, but he was like, he felt really bad and he's very remorseful and just, you know, wanted to extend those sentiments. So Michael Porter Jr. was there in Denver court, like basically, you know, just speaking on behalf of his brother. So his brother ended up getting, I think, 6 years for the accident, you know, and that was 48 hours after, and then boom, the next day, you know, he's playing the Lakers in the playoffs, and Michael Porter Jr. had a great game. Actually, he shot really well, and he kind of had like an interview afterwards, and they're like, "Hey man, tough week for your brothers," and he's like, "Yeah, you know, I had to compartmentalize my emotions for my two brothers because I got 16 other brothers here that I got to show up for." And I was like, "Wow, dude, that's pretty powerful."
Yeah.
But anyway, long story to go around it, but Mike, he has a podcast, Curious Mike, and he's got Jokic on there, who doesn't do interviews. He's got Peyton Manning on there. He's got Mark Cuban on there. And he also had Josh Kroenke, who is Stan Kroenke's son, who's basically the GM of the Nuggets and the Mammoth and the Avalanche. So this is my entry point here to talking about why we can't watch why we can't watch the Nuggets in Denver. If you're like me, you get Avalanche, or I'm sorry, the Altitude Sports Network, which is also owned by Stan Kroenke, on Fubo, and it costs $100 a month, which is unreal. I mean, for a subscription, it's crazy.
And it's like to only watch that and like overseas football games, soccer games.
Exactly. And they have like, you know, it's like Hulu and stuff or like whatever. Like, they're like, oh, we got this other stuff too. It's like, dude, you know I'm here for one thing. Just the Nuggets, you know, and the Avs. You can watch the Avs on there too. You can watch everything that the Altitude Sports Network has. You can get it on DirecTV. So it's actually $110 after taxes and stuff. So it's $110 for Fubo. I think it's $120 for DirecTV, and you can watch the games, you know. But that really sucks because we have like possibly a budding dynasty here, and like most people can't just watch the games. It's so frustrating. So, you know, we're talking like, why is that? Okay, and so the reason is essentially because Stan Kroenke owns the team. Okay, Stan Kroenke owns the Nuggets. He owns the Rapids. He owns the Mammoth. He owns the Avalanche. He owns the LA Rams. He owns the Coliseum that the Rams play in. He owns the Ball Arena that the Nuggets and Avalanche play in. He owns Arsenal Football Club. He owns the ticketing to buy the Nuggets tickets, and he owns the actual broadcasting of the thing. Stan Kroenke is a mega baller, dude.
Sure.
I mean, I think it's kind of cool that he built his empire, you know, late stage in sports. I mean, why not? He's had some definite workarounds because there are, you know, regulations that you can't own multiple teams in similar markets. So on paper, like his wife owns a couple of teams and like he owns some, and you know, that kind of thing. So basically, you know, if we're talking about Avalanche, now here's something about Stan Kroenke that I didn't know about. Stan Kroenke married Sam Walton's granddaughter in 1974. So, you know, the Waltons, obviously, they own Sam's Club and they created Walmart. And that family is easily one of the wealthiest in the world. You know, I think of the top 10 billionaires, I think like 2 or 3 of them at least are like the highest grossing people. So Stan Kroenke built his fortune. Well, he married into an incredible fortune. But what he would do is in the 70s is like Walmart's starting to really come on and they're really expanding nationally, that he would develop the land around the Walmart. So Walmart builds up their thing, and then of course you always got a strip mall around it that's got the gas station, it's got the McDonald's, it's got the boom, 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 boom. So he was building all that stuff, you know.
Nice.
So, and then
Yeah.
he turns his attention to sports, and basically starts buying everything in Colorado. Um, so, again, I was digging into this story because I don't want to just like have some class struggle. I hate the billionaire rich guy. That doesn't feel good. It's like, I don't know. There's got to be some redeeming things. So I go into the deal he struck to get the Rams to LA. Dude, St. Louis really, really, really hates Stan Kroenke.
I would,
Yeah, because he was basically like, you're going to pay for this, this stadium where I'm taking the team. And so he like lobbied the league to say that like, that St. Louis is too small of a market to have an NFL football franchise. We need to take this to LA. And so they let him do it. So, everyone got pissed at him, kicking and screaming. And then of course, he builds that unbelievably cool stadium.
mm-hmm. SoFi.
And then the Chargers decide to leave San Diego, so that they play in SoFi as well. So now you have the entire city of San Diego that hates Stan Kroenke. And again, I'm like, dude, give me some redeeming qualities here. I don't want
And you got Denver too.
Yeah. It's like, come on, man. Can't we have like a super baller rich guy that's beloved in his hometown? I just couldn't find any redeeming qualities. This is the opportunity for Stan Kroenke to redeem himself. Give us the Nuggets and Avalanche on TV. Come on, man. I think I'm going to end up spending $1,000 watching Nuggets games. Come on. Without even going. So it's like, I was like looking at nosebleed, playoff tickets, like $400. It's like, dude, I just don't know. I love the Nuggets, but I don't know if I have Nuggets budget plus Fubo and all this,
Seriously.
That's yeah. I mean, the San Diego thing didn't bother me because I'm not really a Chargers fan. But what does bother me is the $100 a month to watch the Nuggets. As a Denver local Nuggets fan,
Yeah.
you're a fan base supporting the franchise. The Nuggets wouldn't be what they are without the dedicated fan base. Rallying, packing out the stadium every night. Show some love to the fans. Show some love to the ones that are the support and the backbone for Ian for Denver basketball.
You really you can't watch it on TV.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't exist. You can go out to a bar. They're gonna have the subscription or whatever, so you could watch it. That's probably cheaper than paying $100 a month the entire season.
Well, it's so short-sighted. It really just feels like a pissing contest. Be like,
but it's only aren't those rights only for like the Denver area as well? Like,
yeah, you
if
can
you're
watch
in
it
other
outside
places
of it.
like
I can watch
LA, you can watch it on TV, but you can't in Denver.
It's the same. I think it's a market thing too. It's like, oh, everyone's doing it, so it's all right. We have the same thing with the Padres. You have to pay. It's like $120 for the Bally Sports app, which allows you to watch the Padres. But it's a one-time payment for the season, and that comes out to like a couple dollars a game or something like that. Whereas if it's
Not bad.
per month, that's like you said, that's like what, $1,000 to watch your favorite sports team, like
On TV?
yeah. And then they want you
In
to
the
buy
hometown?
yeah, and then they want you to buy the jersey and go to the game and buy a beer and buy parking. Like this, you're looking at some serious budget towards this team just for being a fan. It's pretty ridiculous.
Exactly. And I want to be gracious. Again, I'm trying to go into this being like, okay, he's a good businessman. Okay. He's going to say like, dude, I tried to get a deal done with Xfinity or whatever, and we couldn't meet in the middle. We couldn't find out what the number is. But like, dude, that has to be so short-sighted. Like, what is? I mean, again, like, I don't want to be like, dude, you own the team, you own the broadcasting, you own the stadium, you own the ticketing, you own everything, dude.
You can do it if you want to. It's just
Mother-in-law.
that Fubo's got millions and millions in his pocket.
Yeah, Fubo gives you a couple bucks. Like, dude, how many billions do you have? So it doesn't seem like a good deal, because the more people that get excited about like the Nuggets, the more people that are going to be buying the jerseys, the more opportunities that everybody has to get to know the team. It seems like it's a good business investment to like take the short side of a deal to get the broadcasting out there so everyone can get excited about the team because they're so goddamn dominant. Couldn't you charge more for like advertising on the network that you own in order to subsidize the cost of the deal you want to get done with Xfinity? Of course you could, but instead it's just like Stan Kroenke being like, "God damn it, I'm Stan frickin' Kroenke. I say no," and then that's it, and we just have to eat the pill. So really, after like in depth, like a deep dive into trying to figure out like, is there redeeming quality about this guy? I just don't think it is, except for one thing, and that's his son. Josh Kroenke is a solid dude. He played college hoop. He was in Missouri, I think. He played in the same place as Curious Mike, Michael Porter Jr. And if you listen to that interview, which also came out last week, he's interviewing Josh Kroenke. He's a solid dude, a sharp guy, really cares about the team, really cares about like managing a successful organization. We need Josh to go talk to his dad, loosen the frickin' belt a little bit and like get your wallet out and pay for the goddamn licensing so that Xfinity can watch the Nuggets and the Avalanche. Because I can't see any other reason why you wouldn't do that. I really can't.
I have a question. So what's the name of is it Altitude Sports TV?
That's it.
That's the one.
Yep.
Has the rate gone up since in like the last 2 or 3 seasons since the Nuggets started making deep playoff runs, or was it always
I couldn't find any details of like what was offered or anything. So, and this has been this way for what, 4 years? 4 years you can't watch the Avs or Nuggets. So, the Nuggets last 4 years have been pretty solid. Obviously the last 2 or 3, like in the bubble, we actually lost to the Lakers in the playoffs. I think that was it wasn't Western Conference Finals. It was like the second round, but they were nice, So
it seems like that definitely tells me it's a price gouge thing because he knows the fan engagement is at an all-time high right now because obviously they're one of the best teams in the NBA. They have championship aspirations. That just tells you right there, like this is there's a price gouge.
Totally. It's insane. It's like, dude, what? It doesn't make sense because it really is just like a pissing contest, So it's like, dang it. And that was unfruitful. I really thought that I was like, you know what? This dude's really sharp. There must have been something here. There's got to be something here. And there just really wasn't, except for a trail of tears of wherever Stan Kroenke goes. Except he's got championships all over the place. 2 with the Rams, 2 with the Avs, 1 with the Nuggets, the Mammoth one, the Rapids one. Like, dude, so as an owner, it's like, dude, so conflicted because what do you want? You want the Nuggets to win a championship? You're like, well, yeah, but also I don't want to pay $8,000 to watch the game, but I do want the championship. They have successful sports franchises. It's complicated.
Man, Altitude Sports, do something.
Yeah. It's an emotional roller coaster. I just don't know what to do. I pay Fubo. And every time Fubo glitches in something, I'm just like going off.
Yes.
Oh,
God damn it, Fubo.
Imagine paying $100 a month for service and then the streams buffering or low quality or something. Oh, I would be losing my absolute mind.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Well, it's like this isn't like watching Paramount Plus or the Disney Channel. Like Fubo is fly by night. You know what I mean? I didn't even check. I bet you Kroenke owns Fubo.
Probably.
Oh.
This episode is sponsored by crackstreams.com.
Yeah, totally. Oh, man. Yeah, I stopped streaming stuff a long time ago because I knew that like the second AI is like viable for like cracking down on that stuff, they're just going to send you a big check or like a big invoice. Like, oh.
Here's all the stuff you watched.
Do you like UFC, huh?
Here's all the UFCs you streamed illegally.
Yeah.
$100 each.
Nice. Well, we're just about through here, man. Why don't we run through highlights and then rip through events? Troy, what was your highlight for last week?
So I drove down to Vista this weekend for a friend's birthday party. It's about 45 minutes north of San Diego, about an hour and a half drive from where I'm at. But was able to catch up with some old friends from San Diego, hang out, celebrate the birthday. We watched some basketball. Just super fun time. Just catching up with old friends. There's some family there, coworkers and stuff, old coworkers. It was a good time, and yeah, just hanging out, visiting. We grilled up some tacos. It was a nice, chill, relaxing weekend for sure. What do you guys have going on this weekend um, besides the games?
Hell yeah. Was it this past weekend? No, it was the weekend before that I went to see UFC. I was really just hanging around. I played that show. That was probably the highlight of last week for me. I didn't go anywhere special, didn't go out to eat anywhere. But yeah, shouts out to Rhino neighborhood in Beacon on a snowy spring evening. That was a good night.
Nice. I did a heck load of shoveling. I shoveled mulch. And I want to give a shout out to my neighbor, Ken. Neighbor Ken, and he's a loyal fan of the show. What's up, buddy? I was out there with a tarp and a snow shovel. You know, that was a tool I'm trying to move this. And Ken comes out. He's like, hey, man, you want a little cart and a flat-headed shovel? I was like, I would love that, man. Thank you. So he came out and gave me that. He didn't give me a hand, though. What's up with that, Ken? I know you're pretty strong.
Hey, Ken had the tools. That's all you needed.
It's like, I'm going to go inside and watch you work. And I was like, that actually is perfectly fine because those tools came in very handy. So shout out to Ken. And it felt good doing a little spring gardening, you know.
Nice.
You know, I've got 4 yards shoveled. I got another couple, you know, to get into the mulch. And, you know, mulch is kind of the opposite of gardening. It's like, well, I don't really want to deal with the garden, so we're going mulch.
While it smells a little bit gross, there's nothing like that freshly mulched yard smell. It's just nostalgic.
Yeah, totally.
Spring, summertime's coming.
It's here. Exactly.
Flowers are blooming.
You make it into a little mound because it's like that'll lay down. That'll lay down nice. It just take a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Tom, what do you got on tap for the week?
I got a couple things. Let me run through them real quick. Got a list right here. I got some expos. I got expos and I got concerts.
Nice.
So, 2 different expos this week. We have the Mile High Martial Arts Expo.
Sick.
At Regis University. So if anyone doesn't know where Regis is, just a little bit north of I-70 and on Santa Fe, right? Federal, yeah. I-70 and Federal. That's what I meant. That's where Regis is at. They have the Mile High Martial Arts Expo. You can go over there for some celebrity taught martial arts classes.
Cool.
You can participate or you can just watch. There's going to be seats to watch the classes. It's also like kind of a film festival. They're going to be celebrating great martial arts films of our generations. And yeah, they're going to have some really cool seminars, some cool classes, autograph signings with these martial arts legends. Witness incredible skills of world-class martial artists from around the globe.
Dude,
jaw-dropping demonstrations to heart-stopping competitions. So it seems like there's going to be some tournaments going on. There's going to be some signings. There's going to be some photo ops. There's going to be seminars,
board breaking
classes. Oh yeah,
you
there's
gotta
definitely
have that.
It's a bad weekend to be a 2x4 or no, a compressed wood board in Denver. Without a doubt. If someone's getting through a 2x4, that's impressive.
That would be wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet someone could do it.
Steven Seagal.
Yeah, just hammer fist a 2x4. Sick. So yeah, that's I think it's gonna be both. Sorry, no, this one is just. You know what? Excuse me. It is both days. It's gonna be April 27th and April 28th, starting at 9 a.m. and going to 11 p.m. each day.
Cool.
So there's gonna be a lot going on over there. Check it out. Go to some seminars, learn some cool techniques. And then the other expo that I have is the All-American Reptile and Plant Expo.
Reptile and Plant
Expo.
Sweet.
Colorado's biggest and most diverse reptile and plant show. This is down in Castle Rock at the Douglas County Fairgrounds. It's looking pretty cool. I mean, they're going to have a ton of different species of reptiles and a ton of different species of plants of all different kinds. And yeah, it just says get ready to explore wide variety of fascinating reptiles and beautiful plants.
Is that disrespectful to snakes?
Why?
Because, like, I've been to plenty of reptile expos. I've been to Repticon, which is a great one.
Repticon?
But I was never in there admiring the beautiful snakes and scorpions and stuff and been like, plants.
Dude, well,
Plants would be
you need
nice.
some sick plants inside a nice,
For your-
reptile enclosure.
I don't know. Because they eat those?
No, they just like get them in their natural habitat. You can't have a snake without any, vegetation for them to rustle around and hide in.
Reptile and plants.
I think it's a great combo.
It's a great combo. I've never seen that before. I wonder if you can
it
do
is
yoga
kinda,
there.
It's kind of unique. I bet there's going to be some baby snake yoga.
Reptile, snake, and yoga?
Yeah, adoptables. It only says reptiles. It's reptiles and snakes.
Typically, there are some arachnids usually in these events.
Yeah, I can imagine there's going to be some bugs and some cool arachnids.
Oftentimes, the sugar gliders, those like little squirrels, you can buy those.
Yeah, I feel like you're going to get any sort of, pen capable or like glass enclosure type animal that you can have at home.
Totally.
So yeah, that's going on. Check it out. It's going to be, again, the 27th and the 28th. This one is from 9 to 5. Check out the snakes and the reptiles. You'll find me this weekend, not at Red Rocks, but probably at Mission Ballroom for Chris Lake. He has a special show that he does here. It's Club 5280. Very house music energy. There's going to be, essentially he does a round stage in the middle of Mission.
Cool.
Like typically where they have the sound booth at Mission is where he drops the stage. So he's right in the middle of the crowd, right at the base of the amphitheater section of Mission. Mission's a great venue. It looks dope. Last year's concert looked dope. I think I'm going to check it out this weekend. So
Nice.
Chris Lake, Cloney, Hank, Parmesan. That's going to be on Saturday and actually Friday as well. I'm going to hit up the Saturday one, I think. And then Red Rocks this weekend, we have, and I'm going to even give you guys Tuesday because we're going to post this episode early tomorrow. Tuesday, Hai Long, with special guest Eover. I don't know. It looks like some crazy.
This looks like, some like Northern European type
Yeah, something is
pagan
going on.
ritual.
We got a symbol. We got some, antlers on this guy. He's got some mask on. Who knows who that is? But
Looks dope.
looks like they're going to be thrown down. Wednesday, Lizzie McAlpine, The Older Tour 2024. Check that out. Thursday, Sasanta Primus Pussifer, A Perfect Circle.
Nice.
I don't really know what these events are this week, but that is happening Thursday and Friday. It must be something.
Pussifer and A Perfect Circle are both Maynard's bands from Tool.
Oh,
So when he's not with Tool, Pussifer and Perfect Circle are his other bands.
interesting. Okay, cool.
That's weird. They're playing both. He's just not gonna. He's like just sending the band. He's like, I'm gonna keep staying out here, but
Go ahead.
you guys go back there.
Interesting. Saturday, Sublime with Rome. They have Cypress Hill and Mouse Powell opening up. So that
Dude,
sounds pretty
sick.
cool.
That's wild. Cypress Hill isn't it headlining that?
Yeah, Sublime is the headline.
Huh.
Sublime, Cypress Hill with the support. Or they're the special guest. They do double headliner shows at Red Rocks all the time.
Yeah.
Sunday, Bass, Sullivan King, Company, Reaper, Vastive, Left to Suffer, Dark Bass, Evil Bass on Sunday. And that's it. I mean, next week seems like some more people we're going to know. Trevor Noah got a comedy show next week. That's going to be cool. So we'll talk about that as it comes. Cowboy Carter dance party. Who knows? I think I'll be there, though. All right. That's it for me.
Nice. Cool. Those are great. I got a couple of things. If you're listening to this stream, there is an Earth Day celebration happening right now with the Big Blue Bear. It looks like there's various activities, all very positive about the Earth. If you listen to the podcast, it's not today because we're publishing the podcast tomorrow. So it's in the past.
Yes.
I've got World Tai Chi and Qigong Day, which is April 27th, and it's at Observatory Park. And I grew up right down there, and I thought this kind of ties into your martial arts event. This would be the other side of martial arts, the more contemplative, the more meditative, the slower martial arts. Tai Chi is absolutely wonderful. You probably can go see some great Shaolin Kung Fu in Regis, breaking boards and stuff. But if you want to, nurture your energy ball with some Tai Chi in the park, man, Observatory Park, a great place to do that. I also got a cat art show, which just leapt out at me. This is all feline inspired artwork. This is called And Meow This, the Spectra Art Space. It's going on all week, but Friday is the reception. So if you're inspired by cats like I am, I'm a cat guy. Not that I dislike dogs. I feel like I'm dog neutral. It's on a dog by dog basis. You know what I mean? Like I like a dog, cool, we're good. If I don't like the dog, I don't want to have anything to do with it. But generally speaking, all cats are what's up. I like all cats. So I think this looks like really, really interesting. You know what I mean? If you like cats, you'll love this cat art show. Mingle with the artists, enjoy free drinks. It's great. It's all about cats. I've also got just a placeholder here because we're getting into Cinco de Mayo season, if you can believe it. I mean, I can't believe it's like almost May 2024. It's wild, man. I know. Christmas was like yesterday. But just a little placeholder here. So, Cinco de Mayo's coming. Cinco de Mayo in Denver is always a gigantic party and the best time to really get a feeling of Federal. Now, they really, there's a large police presence on Federal to make sure that there's no shenanigans for Cinco de Mayo, but it's great. It's so fun to go cruise down there and just check out all the beautiful cars and hit the food trucks and stuff like that. So we'll be posting more about Cinco de Mayo as we get closer to the day. What day is that again? What's the date?
5th of May.
Oh yeah, I was playing. What's the date of Cinco de Mayo? All right, that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Game day, or it's game time tonight, 8 p.m. If you're in Denver, you can watch this game because it's on TNT. And thank God, because ESPN is just garbage. I hate listening to ESPN cover the Nuggets.
Oh, it's going to be on TNT tonight? No Altitude Sports?
Well, you get a replay on Altitude, but it's on TNT, so we get Chuck and we get Shaq. Yeah. The primetime national games, if it's on TNT, we get that. I think the ESPN one, I'm not sure if that one played, but it was like on ABC, actually. It was on ABC, but it was ESPN calling the game for that last game, but this one's on TNT. And I feel like that is the true broadcasting package. They're the real pros of the NBA. TNT is awesome. So that game is tonight at 8 p.m. and let's go Nuggets, man. Let's just sweep the leg, Troy. I'm sensitive talking about it because I know that's your boys. I know you. I appreciate you being a loyal Lakers fan, but yeah, this could be Nuggets year again. I don't see who can stop them, but. That's it. Troy, thanks for doing the music, buddy. Shout out to our sponsor, kitcaster.com. You can come check out the show, kitcaster.com/Denver. Please follow us on Instagram, What's Good Denver. Please follow us on TikTok, What's Good Denver. We're on Spotify, and we stream Tuesdays live on YouTube. So thanks for listening, everybody.
All right.
Yes.
Later.